1980X took me back to the 80s, and I loved every minute of it, and I wanted to take my time with it. Just when I started to fall in love with it, it ended. The game is short, there's no doubt about it. If you don't die, you can probably finish the game under 3 hours. A game ending in 3 hours isn't bad though. Sometimes you want a game to end, not because it's bad, but because you want a well-balanced experience. A strong story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. 1980X never gets to the end, or the middle really. The beginning of the game is awesome. It really took me back to the 80s. It reminded me of what it felt like to be a kid in an arcade, surrounded by my people, the misfits, the street kids. In those arcades, it didn't matter who you were in the real world. Everybody is welcomed. If you had a fistful of quarters, you can even be God, if you're willing to risk it all. And sometimes that's what we did. In those arcades, you stake your reputation with each game you play. It all starts with a quarter on the screen and the words, "I got next." 1980X is about a kid who lives in suburbia who just knows there's more to life than meets the eye. It just can't be this bland. Then one day he finds it. He finds what he's looking for, escape. And that's exactly what the kid does. Through the story, you play different arcade games. Beating Heart, a beat 'em up, a throwback to games like Double Dragon and Streets of Rage. Out of the Void, a shoot 'em up, a throwback to side-scrolling sci-fi shooters like Gradius. The Runaway, a racing game, a throwback to games like Outrun. Shadow Play, a ninja game kinda. I don't remember any ninja games that were runners. I do remember Shinobi, and this is no Shinobi. Probably the weakest arcade game of them all. And last, Kill Screen, an RPG. I don't remember playing many, if any RPGs in the arcades, but I did on the Sega Genesis, and I have to tell you, as simple as it looked, it was fun. And so were the rest of the arcade games, but they were short, only a level each really, and you can't go back to them within the story. You can replay that part of the story, but you're doing just that, replaying the same part of the story. And just when the story was starting to get good, usually this is the middle, the game ended with a "to be continued." I was surprised and disappointed. Not disappointed with my experience with the game, I enjoyed every minute of it. Disappointed that I didn't get a resolution from my experience. Was this enough to make me want to buy the sequel? No, not really. I just might skip it. Do I regret buying 1980X in the first place? No, I enjoyed it for as long as it let me. Because in the end, I could tell this was a labor of love. You can see it in the art. The amount of detail is astonishing. The art direction is perfect for the game. It makes sense. And it also looks beautiful at the same time. And you can really feel it in the music. The music really sets the mood. It sets the tone. A throwback to the 80s. The beginning of the future. It builds the atmosphere. You feel out of this world. And that's what I felt like playing this game. I was back in those arcades. And that's why I don't regret buying it and supporting the studio behind it. An independent studio out of Sweden, taking me back to the 80s. Who would have thought?